Okay, so this is what I am talking about earlier. Archaism, literary term. Use of word or style of writing which has already been old-fashioned. As what I have said earlier, it is a features of old-fashioned or words in English that we don't usually know as of today because they were very old. Examples of archaic words or sentences. Lord, thou hast examined me and knowest me. Thou means you, hast means has, and knowest means know. Thou knowest all, whether I sit down or rise up. So usually these archaic words come from those Bible verses. Thou hast discerned my thoughts from afar. Thou hast traced my journey and my resting places. And art familiar with all my paths. Now, art here are as in A-R-E. Okay, the Bible passage 139. Here the words thou, for you, knowest, for know, art, for are, and hast, for has are archaic words. Modern writers use archaic words to add veneer or spices or superbness to the writings. Coleridge uses it in many lines of the rhymes. Okay, in the first line of the following quotation, there are two examples. He prayeth well and loved well. Instead of using prayer and love, they use prayeth with th at the end of the prayer or love, both man and bird and beast. Okay, this came from the text source of an ABC of English literature. Now, from the video, we can say that these archaic words, some of these archaic words, we don't usually know this in a daily conversation. We don't use it as kind of communication from the other person. But if you are an AB English major, you should know about it, because it is one of the key for you to understand more in English literature as well as in English language. Now next. Okay. Archaic features in American English. Now let's talk about archaic features in American English. American pronunciation, as compared with with that of London, is somewhat old-fashioned. Excuse me. It has qualities that were characteristics of English speech in the 17th and 18th centuries. The preservation of the R in the general American and a flat in fast, path, or etc. are two such that were abandoned in southern England at the end of the century. In many little ways, standard American English is remnants of the old period of the language. So it is very self-explanatory. There's no need to explain about the archaic features in American English, since we know that it is a very old-fashioned way of writing or speaking. And also, we don't usually use this as of today. But it is very important, again, to know what are these archaism as well as these archaic words. Next. Okay, the American English language. English versus British. Now, let's talk about these words of English and British words. Okay, American English versus British English. Most Americans pronounce either and neither with the vowel of teeth or beneath, while in Britain an alternate pronunciation has developed since the American colonies were established, and the most usual pronunciation is now with an initial diphthongs. The American use of gotten as the past participle of get always impresses the British of today as an old-fashioned feature not to be expected in in the speech of people that prides itself on being up to date. American English has kept a number of old words or old uses of words no longer used in Britain. Now, as we know, this Britain English type, it is also considered as an old-fashioned because today we don't usually use this words, for example, color. And the spelling of color, we don't usually use u or COLOUR. Now we usually spell color as COLOR, somewhere like that. Now you will get to know more better in the next slides. Examples of British words and English words. Now in this in observing in the picture, in the words in the picture, since British and American have different cultures perspective with regardless on the language, it also differ in some of their words. For example, tap and faucet. Both of them are devices to flow the water, as well as cooker, stove. So they have really this different and instinctive type of words in British and American. Petrol, gas, toilet, bathroom. Toilet and bathroom both are comfort rooms. Trouser, pants, both are clothes, as well as railways, railroad, wash up, do the dishes. Different words, but the implications or the thoughts are the same. Wash your hands, wash up, jug, pitcher, campsite, campground. Next. Okay. In this video, you will know more what are the difference of this British and American English words. So let's watch this one.
Well, here we are on the street in Washington, D.C. My name is Pete Musto. This is Quarantine.
Now in the video, the other one is an American citizen and the other one is a British citizen. Now let's continue.
Well, here we are on the street in Washington, D.C. My name is Pete Musto. This is Norm Quarantine.
One is American and one is a British.
And I am not. We're here to discuss the difference between American and British English. So tell me, Norm, what are your opinions about American English?
I think it's an unnecessary evil.
I really like the way people talk in England, so in certain parts of it at least.
It's difficult for me because it's so different and the British accent is so strong.
Both
It's
of
like
these people have
exotic in a
a
way,
good
but
point of view
know,
regardless
it
on
seems-
the English
it's the same.
language in their
Give us
culture
an example of
and on their
unnecessary
respective countries.
favor.
This is what I'm talking about earlier. Favor,
what about
favor,
neighbor,
color,
not neighbor.
color, neighbor. So
Favor, lay more, or lab
they
more,
differ
so you guys
in
spell.
spelling as well as their
Colour. But
what
then
you
I
call
suppose,
the accent
I mean,
of how they
neither of
speak
us
it.
are pronouncing it correctly.
what is the correct pronunciation of color?
Colour.
Color,
Color.
I prefer American English.
pronunciation.
Yeah, just straight. Why? Because it's what you hear when you're growing up. It's what what I'm more used to. So you hear it on TV. That's how I learned English. My teachers were from America.
Now I highly agree on what the woman said, that really English is one of the factors that we learn English came from those teachers, professors in our school, and it's very necessary to learn and pay attention on them
What do you mean?
because it paves the way throughout our journey in learning.
no idea.
We call them
Now in this part,
because of the
they
brand.
differ on
But because
what
the brand
branding or what they were
vacuum
called
cleaners.
in,
So you guys
in a specific
right on that one,
things
because what you call
in
a
their
vacuum
houses.
cleaner is a vacuum cleaner.
Interesting. What about a Xerox machine? You guys
See, that's the other way around. We call that a photocopy.
A
You
Xerox,
guys call it a Xerox, which is
and
the
then
brand.
some says it is a photocopy.
I'm kind of a traitor because I live there.
Do you think that there are any benefits to British English?
I think they have cool expressions. Their accent is cool.
Lift and elevator. They both. That works. They both lift and they both elevate.
Now, regardless on
What if we have
the
give you a couple
the accent
British slang words?
and the
Try to think
pronunciation,
about what they mean,
I would
okay?
go to British because they have the coolest accent and pronunciation. While in looking at the accuracy or in a simplest way, I will go to the American English
What's a loo?
words.
Oh.
No,
If I were to say you are Barney,
okay. Now the girl. The funny thing is, when the other guy asked the girl what is a loo, of course an American speaker would anticipate is as low as in hello or low as in kanang below. But in reality, a loo, Loo, means in British means a toilet. Now we can see that there is a big difference on how they made such a words and use it in a different way of manner.
if I were to say you are Barney, you know what I would mean?
Barney?
Barney. Barmy.
Oh, I don't know that one. Crazy?
Okay, that's enough. Now in this part, some words in British, when it is translated or it is came into English words, some of them have this hint and they will grasp it in an easy way because it also reflects some of the words in English. Say for example like this one.
If I were to say you are Barney, you know what I would mean?
Barney?
Barney.
See, the other guy confused at first, but in the end, he got it right.
Fewer words to say, so they rely on more volume.
My
Now,
students,
these
I
are the
have had
people
thousands
with
of students.
the different countries and different accents of English,
It is
as well as
easier to
the different
understand.
perspective
We are
on the
awesome.
languages.
British might be cooler, but in the end, it pays to learn American English.
Well, it's been a long day talking about languages, sir.
So I think that's all about in this video.
Say cheers.
Oh, cheers!
What are you thanking me for?
Okay, now let's proceed to the next slide.